Hello everyone, welcome to day 10 of Prelims SQ series. In this video, we are going to cover the topics related to human geography and also some of the current affairs of March 2024 related to polity, and also we are going to cover some map based information, and these are basically the information or where I made the errors in my tests. So this is my error notes. Okay, now let's start the discussion. First of all, population density. Population density is nothing but a measure of the people in a unit area. So, for example, there is a square kilometer. In that area, the people, how many people present, for example, 100. Then the population density will be 100 per square kilometer. So, this is a square kilometer or the population density. And also the population density is high, for example, like high in Delhi like areas, and also it is very low in the areas like in the states like Assam, northeastern states. Okay, basically the population density is dependent on various factors like development, transportation, logistics, and also infrastructure, health. So these are the factors where the population is purely dependent on, and also the security. Okay, now let's see. And also there are the three types of population density. Basically there is a arithmetic population density, that is nothing but the population by the divided by the area. And physiological is nothing but the total population by total cultivatable area. This is the arithmetic, means the total population by total area. That is, for example, let's take example of a Telangana. So we include the total population of Telangana, and it is divided by the total area of Telangana. Okay, so that is the arithmetic density. Next we have the physiological population density. That is nothing but, in Telangana we include total population, okay, as the first arithmetic one, but we divide it by the total cultivable area or land. Okay, total cultivable area, total population by total cultivable area, that is nothing but uh, the land which is sown or used for agriculture. Okay, and next we have the agriculture population density. That is nothing but the population in Telangana, the population who are doing agriculture or as an occupation, let's take that people, and divided by the total cultivable area. So here the total cultivable area is constant with respect to the physiological population density. So here we take the agriculture population, but with respect to the physiological one we take the total population. That is a different. Basically these are the things which we need to highlight, because these seem simple while we are studying, but these are the important or the main topics which we forget or confuse in our examination, because it is very tricky to remember this kind of information where there are similar kind of definitions for each statement. For example, here we have the arithmetic. So in arithmetic, total population by total area, and physiological total population by total cultivable land. So this is very hectic and we tend to confuse in this way. So we guys need to revise it frequently so that we remember and we can perform good in our examination. Next we have the urban settlement. So basically urban settlement is nothing but the urban development or urban livelihood. And here we have the names based on the population. Okay, so these are the types of the urban settlement where it is derived based on the population. Okay, first the town is this first the town is the least one, and next compared to the city it is a least one. First comes a town, then next we have the city, then we have the million city is nothing but where the population is greater than 1 million. Okay, that is known as a million city. And the union of million cities or towns is known as the conurbation. So just remember this, conurbation is nothing but the union of this, means it includes the cities and also million city, various million city. For example, let's consider this is a town and next we have the city. Okay, next we have the million city where the population is greater than the million. If we include various cities or towns or various million cities, this is known as conurbation. Okay, okay, and also here this is a one conurbation where it included various million cities and cities. In the same way we have another conurbation. So the union of all this conurbation is known as a megapolis. Okay, union of conurbation is nothing but the megapolis. Next we have the that is nothing but the shifting cultivation. So shifting cultivation is nothing but the people will do cultivation in an area for a certain amount of period of time and then they shift to the other area for the cultivation. So that is the literal meaning of the shifting cultivation. So here we have the different names for the shifting cultivation in different countries or areas. So basically we call it as a Jhum in Assam and Bevar in MP, Madhya Pradesh, and Onam in Kerala, and Pudu in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. So here these kind of information is a very factual information. So that's why we need to revise it frequently. And Ladakh internationally, Ladakh in Indonesia and Kaingin in Philippines and Milpa in Central America and Mexico. Okay, next we have the Ray in Vietnam, Tongia in Myanmar, Tamra in Thailand, Chena in Sri Lanka, and Konoko in Venezuela, and Roca in Brazil, and Mansol in Central Africa. So, in my perspective, the shifting cultivation, which are basically in our country, are most important than this. If you remember this, then shift to remembering this. Okay, first of all we need to remember all the Indian parts like shifting cultivation or like this population density thing or the names of some other like national parks or wildlife sanctuaries. And the factual information we need to remember basically is India's one. And then if you cover all this factual information of India's or you remember all this India's factual information, then move to remembering the uh, international ones. Okay, that is my advice. And next we have the types of lands. Okay, we have the current fallow is nothing but there is no agriculture in that land for more than 1 year or equal to 1 year. So current fallow is a land where there is a no agriculture, so for 1 year or greater than 1 year, that's mean there is no agriculture production here. Next we have the follow other than current follow. Okay, that means in this section we include the lands which are barren lands which aren't used for the agriculture for for greater than 1 year but in between the 5 years, but less than 5 years greater than 1 year, that is known as a follow other than current follow. Okay, next we have the culturable wasteland. Culturable wasteland is nothing but the land where the agriculture is not happening there for more than 5 years. Okay, that is known as a culturable wasteland. Next we have the barren and wasteland. Barren and wasteland is nothing but there is we cannot cultivate in those areas like hills, deserts, those are barren and wasteland. So this is also a kind of factual information. Okay, suddenly the examiner may gives the this section. Okay, RHS1, and in LHS it gives a current fallow other than current fallow, culturable wasteland, barren and wasteland, and they ask us to match or they ask us how many of the pairs are correct or incorrect. So that's why we need to remember. Okay, next we have the coffee. So basically coffee's vegetation is a is a evergreen shrub, means it needs a very good amount of water. Okay. And it requires hot and humid climate that is between 15 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. And the coffee plantation is or happens in the shadow region. Okay, this is the shadow region. In this shadow region or the shady of trees, the coffee is grown. Okay. And also one thing we need to remember is the coffee is ripened when the weather is dry. If the weather is very cold and it is rainy, then the coffee doesn't ripe and it spoils the ripening of the coffee. And the required amount of rainfall is 150 to 250 centimeters. That is huge. And also, if we know the biomes topic, or if you guys cover this biomes topic, you may expect that in the evergreen shrub or evergreen forest receives or will only happen in the areas where there is a high rainfall. Okay, high rainfall, so it requires 150 to 250 centimeters of rainfall. And it needs to be the drainage is well drained, means it requires a lot amount of water. And it only or it grows in the rich variable loamy soil. Loamy soil is nothing but the like little bit of porous. Okay. And it is grown in the states of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, AP, Odisha, Meghalaya, and Tripura. Okay, these are the states where the coffee is planted. And we guys need to just have a look at this and try to just remember, or because they might also ask the states. That means one of the statements they'll say that coffee is grown in Karnataka, Kerala, and they'll say Chhattisgarh. So we guys need to have a matlab we need to remember this kind of information, because coffee is already asked in our UPSC prelims examination. So that's why we need to remember this states thing also. Okay, in maps, so it looks like this. Okay, here and here in the northeastern region and in the south, that means in near to the Odisha, Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, AP, and Odisha, Meghalaya, Tripura. Okay. Next we have the agriculture density. So agriculture agriculture density is nothing but the total agriculture population divided by net cultivable area. Okay. Here in calculating the agriculture density, you are not including the total population. Okay, we are including the total agriculture population. And also here we are not including the total area, we are including the net cultivable area. So this thing we need to focus on. Next we have the population pyramid. So basically this is the population pyramid. The main purpose of the population pyramid is it expresses the age sex distribution of a population. That means it by seeing population pyramid we will get to know about the age, how many people are in the different ages. Or for example, let's consider we can know the people or the amount of people where the 15-year age are. And also we tend to get the number of people, like how many male people and how many females, we get to know about this. So basically the population pyramid looks like this. So this means this is a upward pyramid. That means, for example, so it looks like this. And let's consider this as a male ones and this is a female ones. Here we have the age up to from 0 to 5. Here we consider 5 to 15, 15 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 80. So this is an example. So it looks like this. Okay, so by this we can say that the young population of this nation is greater than the old population. Okay, so this is a kind of information we'll be getting by analyzing the or by seeing the population pyramid. Okay, next we will go to the topics related to the polity. Okay, that's right. In polity, so that means here we are covering March current affairs of 2024 of polity. So here we have the Armed Forces Special Powers Act of SPA. So basically, according to OSPA Act, there is a unfiltered powers, that means infinite powers to the armed forces and CA police. Okay, cantonment area police and armed forces. So they will be receiving unfettered power, that means unlimited of power in the disturbed areas. So the key thing is the disturbed areas. Okay, and it was first was enacted in the 1958 during the Naga uprising, and then in 1972 there was Constitutional Amendment Act in the OSPA, that is Armed Force Special Powers Act. Like, so basically the where the disturbed areas are there, no, so there the government has declared that the power to declare a disturbed area rests with the central government, and also it rests with the state. That is, this thing has been amended in the year 1972 as a constitutional amendment. And also this thing, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, was recommended by the G1 Reddy committee. So these things already asked in our examination. Okay, so we need to remember these things. Next we have the vote from home. Basically the vote from home, the from name only we can say that vote from is nothing but we can vote from our home to the our chosen public public representative. Okay, so the vote from home power contains, or it is applicable to the people of PWD and senior citizen that is above the age of 85. Here the examiner may confuse, so he may also give 70. By this we as we see 70, we think that 70 years is a old thing. That means the 70 years people look very old, they cannot walk basically, so they might be getting the advantage of voting from home. But that is not the case, because the only senior citizens who are about the year 85 years only can vote from home. That is the thing. Next we have the service voter, and next we have workers from essential services. Essential services are nothing but the services like healthcare sectors, policing, and teachers, etc. Next we have the media persons. So media persons also, they need to cover the thing, no, so that's why they have the power to vote from home. Okay, next we have the census in India. So basically the census in India covers under the union budget under the article of 256, and also it included in the 7th schedule in the serial number 69. The first non-synchronous census. Non-synchronous is nothing but in our nation, that is India. Okay, in India the population census happened, like for example let's us take Telangana. So in Telangana it has happened during the year 1950, and then in Madhya Pradesh it happened during the year 1955. So this is matlab the census in our nation is happening in different time period, that is known as a non-synchronous census. So first non-synchronous census was happened in the year 1872. Okay, under Mayo. And next the first synchronous happened in the year 1881 under, and here it happened under the Lord Ripon, and the census commissioner was a C. Plowder. Okay, Plowden. So he was the census commissioner, and the Census Act was enacted in the year 1948. So these years also very important, because here we have the first, means the first. So these first things will be have a high chance of asking in our examination. So that's why we need to remember the first Census Act was enacted in the year 1948, because there is a lot of discussion of doing the census and the delimitation. Okay, next we have the decennial census. Decennial census is nothing but there will be, the government will be doing the census for 10 years, every 10 years. Okay, so it comes under the office of registrar general and census commissioner. Okay, this thing also you guys need to remember, registrar general and census commissioner. Okay, it comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Ministry also we need to remember, and also we need to remember the office of registrar general and census commissioner. And the 16th and the last census was happened during the year 2021, and it was the first digital census which happened. And here the one prominent thing is, it also include the households of the transgender, where the transgender leads the house. In the census, 16 census, the transgender leading house also included in the 16 census for the first time. Okay, so that's it for the video. It is becoming very lengthy. Let's cover this next topics in the next video. That's it for the video. If you like the video, please do subscribe. Bye.